right, guys, this is Josh's R30 Skyline. This is a good one. I'm excited for this shoot. So tonight we're just gonna go for a rip. We're gonna hit a couple locations, and later you're gonna see a cruise that we attempted to go on a couple weeks ago. But this car, of course, as is the case as these cars get older, it had a few issues. But this is like, I don't know, I would consider this kind of the awkward middle child. It's kind of cool in the Skyline lineage because it's before all of, well, you guys know, HICUS, rear steer. It's before all-wheel drive. It's really before the GTR came back to life. And this is like very authentic 80s motoring. If you're not into kind of the older Skylines and of course, like Kaido racers and stuff like that in Japan, then maybe this isn't your thing. And normally this wouldn't be my thing, but today, you know, Josh has got it on the road. So let's go for a drive, see how it does. This is the oldest Nissan I've ever driven. No, wait, it's not. I drove a 510.
I drove an older Toyota.
What's the oldest Toyota you've driven?
I think it was a 74 Corona. 74, I think.
Whoa. Does this seat move?
Oh, yeah, he's got slammer hard.
Okay. Oh, yeah. There we go.
Yeah. She's a classic.
Fires right up. This is going to be fun. Thanks, bro.
No worries.
Thank you. Electric windows, yes?
Yeah, I think they only work on here right now. I haven't opened up the doors yet.
Wait, so there's 2 window control switches?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Just some exhaust.
Oh yeah, I just felt the entire exhaust through the steering wheel there. That's
She's
okay.
3-inch.
That's okay. 4-speed?
No, it's 5.
Oh, it's a 5-speed?
Yep.
Wait, so what year is this?
84.
What are we driving?
We're driving a gray 1984 Nissan, so it says the papers on the windows.
Yeah, so this was like one of the, like I said earlier, outside of the gas station, this was basically somewhere in between like L series, like old Datsun engines.
Yeah.
And then this was like no RB yet, no all-wheel drive yet.
Oh yeah, you got a steering box, you got solid rear arms, you got 14s, you got 2 inches of fucking clearance. Yeah, it's a real gem. I ranged on it the other night, and I probably shouldn't have given it that much beans, but
Yeah.
I don't know, whatever. It felt good, so I was just giving her a little bit extra. But
yeah, you gotta blow out the old, the previous owner's stank.
Yeah, I mean, we had to clear all the gas and everything. It sat for so long. It was like a full rebuild, or full resto rebuild, whatever you want to call it. Had to spray out the tank, clean all that up, and get all the junk out of the fuel system, and change all the fluids and everything. And yeah, couldn't do any bushings because I don't think they're available on hand like here.
Yeah, well,
easily.
I know like Nissan has their I don't know what they call it, their classic parts kind of like program, I guess you would say, but it doesn't go back this far, does it?
I don't know. We've been looking into a few things. Most of it's just like kind of retrofitting shit. Like the alternator was the 280. That was the first issue we had.
Yes. I'll throw in the footage right now.
Yeah, I mean, really, that was it. That was the only problem. Hey, let's go,
no,
light.
The light's gone. Kill the lights.
Darkness. Hey, I got it. I know what we'll do.
Are you sure the alternator's still working?
Yeah, no, your light would come on the dash. We figured that one out.
Yeah.
Nah, here we'll get some purple light. Set the mood.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys, we were trying to go on New Year's touring. Oh, that's hilarious.
It's probably not enough.
That's actually so great. There's a lot of play on center. In terms of like, yeah, there's 0 and then there's like, oh, that's a Skyline.
Yeah.
Or something like a Silvia. It's not a full moon quite yet. All right?
No.
We're still, we have luck on our side, I feel like.
Oh, man.
And there's actually quite, like, the engine's not as crowded as I would have expected. Like, you open the hood on an R33 or R34 RB25.
300ZX.
yeah, nightmares.
Yeah,
nightmares.
So this thing, I guess, because it was supposed to have the 6, the 4 kind of gave you a bit extra room. I mean, you could get every bolt on the trans, like, without even, you know.
This car came with so many engines. I didn't actually know, but apparently it came with a diesel engine. There's of course.
No way. I haven't looked that up.
Yeah,
that's funny.
Yeah, I don't know if it was in the. I think it may have been for like an overseas, like a European market.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if it was just like a, I don't know, like a European thing or whatever.
Yeah, but I mean, you think about it, you guys. This is kind of like SR20 pre-SR20 in a way. Like like it has fuel injection. It's everything that you would feel from like a modern RB, but without all of the like electronics that could go wrong.
I guess.
Exactly.
It was really raw.
Yeah.
Really raw. Yeah, and it was apparently it's the first. This is like the first stab at. Oh, nice dodge. This is the first stab at like Nissan's first stab at a dual cam turbo on their own without having the British help.
Oh wow, okay.
Again, it's sort of just I'm just really learning about this thing now. It's a lot of folklore to tap into.
Yeah.
Back in that bag again. Whoa, yeah. Hey. Back in that, yeah. Tell them to watch it. Now I ain't talking my pockets. Just know we ain't running out the way that we stock it. If I got it, you got it. If I call it, she slide and tell her to mop it. Yeah, I got that shit doing. Damn, she took that thing.
Drill right there. Whoa. Yeah. Little dipper.
I mean, easy enough to drive, man.
Yeah.
Despite like the lowness.
No, it's that's the thing. Yeah, the lowness. If it wasn't as low, it'd be a cake.
Manual steering too.
Yeah. Well, power. It's a rack. Sorry.
Or yeah, you said
box with power.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's a little bit funky.
Because that right there basically feels like manual steering, like at low speeds.
Yeah.
It's still got that like quick ratio though.
Oh yeah, no,
like, it's a good rack. Yeah.
I mean, it's a really old form of steering. It's like some horse carriage shit. But
yeah, I can feel it.
Yeah, it's surprising. I mean, it feels fine to drive. You kind of give it some forgiveness because you're in an old car.
Yeah. Like, what state of repair or disrepair was the engine in?
Basically, it was just all of the. I mean, the plugs. Some of them were pretty fucked.
Yeah.
It's, I don't know why. Like, this is only 2 years older than a S13, or 3 years older, I guess, technically. But all the plugs were updated, I guess, in that time. Because on the 13s, they're all like nice insulated, waterproof. These ones are like, I don't know, they look like old computer plugs. So I could describe them. Majority of the issues were just with vac lines. It was just kind of crumbly vac lines, and then like I guess when they took the motor out, they had it just hanging off the side. Like some of the shit was just kind of pulling on stuff, so it cracked the finish him off. There was a fatal blow.
Yeah. Well, it's that thing of like, age doesn't really kill cars. It's not driving them that mostly kills cars.
No. It's letting them sit kills them.
Yeah. No, exactly. Yeah. Well, it's like for me, it's all about 32s, 33s, the standard stuff.
Yeah, primarily that's what we work on at the shop. Yeah. But I mean, I started in 86. That was my first car, so I've got I don't know. I guess I kind of got thrown into like the old shit.
Yeah. If you had just showed me an R30 Skyline and I had not poked around one, who would have guessed it has all of these like air controls on the side? It's got power lumbar, or like air, I guess.
Yeah.
The old school air stuff.
It's pretty funny. It's like power locks too.
That's insane.
They're they pull a little bit. I got to literally take apart all the electronics and clean everything before using it. And then the motor came over on a separate trip, so.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
okay.
not even the same trip. Yeah, it was like pieced together.
So did you do anything restoration-wise on the engine bay? Like
yeah, it had two, both the struts for some reason. I don't know like how the fuck it rusted there. just only there.
Yeah.
But it was really, really open to the elements essentially.
Yeah.
So water would travel in and then stop on the steering box, like where the connection is into the rails.
Yeah, yeah.
And it just collected there and kind of just rotted away, like the two zones on either side. So I cut those out, tin bashed them back, got them to like look factory again. Everything's all nice, no Bondo or anything like that, just seam sealer.
Yeah.
And then 2 patches on the frame behind the diff and everything. So that was pretty easy with the tank out. Just sorted that out while it was out. And then one tiny hole in the floor, which I don't really know how it got there, like because everything else was clean. It was just a quick cleanup, nothing too major.
All right, you guys, let's head to a different spot. What wheels are these?
SSR Mark 1s. 14.8, -12, I believe.
What did you try? Are those Nismo LMGT2?
Yeah, LMGTs. I think they're ones because they're 4-bolt. But again,
wow.
A lot of things I just kind of know what they are. I don't know the folklore on it. But yeah, I tried those on, and then I wanted to see if 15s were going to make the cut to get it up a little bit. So I had some machinos on my buddy's car that I quickly put on them before giving them a polish, but I didn't like the look. Which is weird because they came with machinos on them for the race cars. Like,
well, and they're close to this. Like you would, I mean, I thought they looked decent, but I think these look better.
Yeah.
But also, I think the LMs would have looked dope.
Yeah, I'll probably end up putting them on just to give it a little more height, and then I can, like, you know, I don't want to say rip the car, but I can drive it a little more forgivingly.
Yeah. Oh.
Have you looked at the back of this thing?
The engine?
Yeah, how far back the motor is from the, or sorry, I guess how far forward technically. You might not be able to see it too well. The stable for your horse management.
Oh yeah.
This is where you put your child on cold nights to keep them warm. I had cruise control. I haven't figured out if it works yet.
It's got cruise control.
It's got cruise control, yeah. Even SRs didn't come with cruise control.
Yeah, that's insane. Did, so. That's insanity.
But yeah, pretty funny.
It's that's crazy.
Got a lot of little weird things.
Have you opened like the intercooler piping and everything and looked at the state of the turbo?
Yeah, no, I had to take everything apart.
Yeah.
I had when the motor's out, so I was gonna do like a little bit of a cleanup on it, but the patina on the car kind of suited everything, so I didn't want to make just this be a polished section on it, and figured it would be stupid. So also the brazing on the pipes is kind of neat to see, like the handcrafting behind it, sort of neat. I gave like just a quick wire brush on all the shields and the turbo and everything, just clean it up.
Yeah. And this is not like a 90s car where, okay, if luck's on your side, you can generally speaking take a car off the boat and just drive. You could drive it home, you could drive it for a few months and not have structural integrity problems, but with a car this old.
Yeah, it's one of those things. I mean, I like I said, I haven't seen a lot of these things around, so I haven't got my nose into them and kind of dug around, but what I've heard is that they're all hiding with Bondo. So they remake the metal out of Bondo instead.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's not my style, but it's definitely a thing that people do.
What gets you from an 8.6, you had multiple E30s, and now you're like, somebody steps inside your shop, it's S chassis everywhere.
They're good. They're good and they work. No, I was drifting the 8.6 for probably like a year and a half or 2 years. And then I met a couple friends at the track, and one of them had just an S13 with a dual cam, and took that thing for a scoot. It was on 15, so like it felt like it had a million horse. But yeah, I just linked up the track, no problem, like first try. And that was it. I was pretty much set that was like the ultimate chassis. So I went and sold everything 8.6 that I had like the next day or 2 days later when I found one. Over here was an SR coupe with a Silvia front end, and I sold all my bits. I had like a high comp cool built motor with like ITBs and shit at the time, like a bunch of stuff, and I just got rid of it all. It's like, S13, SR, it's cool. So.
Which, I mean, pick two of the vehicles that are like two of the most sought after cars today. Yeah. Out of anything Japanese, I mean.
Ours are one of them, that's for sure. Yeah. But I mean, S chassis is, take your pick. Like there's pros and cons to all of them. Really, it's up for debate on. It's just personal preference.
Yeah.
It's nothing more. Yeah, I mean, it definitely has the looks. It's got the body lines. I like it a lot, but it's old. It's an old car, so you got to really be into that. You can't be someone who like, oh, you know, this isn't working, or like, oh, this smells.
Yeah.
You know, like, oh, it's like exhausty when you start it up in the morning. Yeah, no shit. It's got no cat. It's straight pipe. You got to park it on a wall under a carport.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's I mean, it's kind of like a scavenger hunt. I mean, you know, nothing really was crucially wrong with it when we put it back together. So that was nice. I feel like I would probably have a sour taste in my mouth if it was just a bunch of problems, but one was easy enough to deal with. The main parts, you know, you don't want things like that to start failing on you. I mean, to upgrade this thing to what I wanted to do to it, I mean, it would probably be like close to 10 grand, because it'd be a standalone instant chop with ECU, fuel upgrade, manifold, fuel rail,
modern
top
turbo.
Feed. Yeah, I'd just go with a Scremin just for simplicity. T28, and you know, it'd be fine too. But yeah, it was an interesting motor to have out. Like Oleg was really curious about it. It's just all a history lesson on this thing essentially. So.
That was nasty. Oh my god. It's off. Final resting place, man. That's it. It's coming down with the building, man. Oh no, no.